Damaging wind threat on the increase as we go through the evening. We'll track multiple rounds of thunderstorms just ahead.
A popular Berea festival has been canceled by the Chamber of Commerce over demands from city leaders.
Parents of a Southern Kentucky boy killed in a school bus incident last year are now suing the Board of Education and the bus driver involved.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening. A line of strong storms, some of them causing damage, followed by cold temperatures, all of that making its way through the bluegrass right now.
We begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on this First Alert Weather Day. We're starting to hear of damage and some injuries, right, Chris?
Yeah, west of here into Breckenridge County, at least two injuries being reported by this same line of thunderstorms that knocked down some mobile homes over there, tore a roof off a middle school into Breckenridge County. A lot of wind damage into central Kentucky. West of the Lexington area has mainly been some trees and power lines knocked down. Here's that cluster of thunderstorms zipping through the area. Notice another one ready to take its place from the Bowling Green area. Let's get into it and show you the current warnings that are out for northern parts of the bluegrass region. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings are out. Bourbon, Harrison, Nicholas, and Scott counties until 6:15. That's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That includes Cynthiana, areas just to the north of Georgetown. Also for Franklin, Harrison, and Scott, that's a different part of those three counties until 5:45. Defender Radar Network lighting up with that cluster of thunderstorms working through. Now, it is not as strong as what we were showing you even 15 minutes ago, but northbound on 75, boy, we're going to run into a lot of high winds, heavy rain, thunder and lightning around the Sadieville area, north of Georgetown near the Toyota plant. Right on top of Georgetown, looks like the worst of this storm is passing us by to the north. You get into the Lexington area, showers and thunderstorms are not quite as strong. Boy, it looks threatening, though. That's the live sky cam outside the station here on Winchester Road. Showers and thunderstorms then extend in weaker fashion toward parts of Lancaster and Stanford. Now let's jump into the next round of severe thunderstorms across Bowling Green. That'll work its way toward the northeast. You see those severe thunderstorm warnings around the Glasgow area and into Bowling Green. Whatever's to our southwest will eventually roll to the northeast as we go into the evening. And one more line of strong and severe thunderstorms taking shape across parts of Indiana and Illinois. Guys, we have three lines of strong to severe storms we are tracking over the next several hours. So for many of us, it's going to get a little bumpy this evening.
Thank you, Chris. We know you'll keep us updated. You can get the latest weather forecasts and updates. Just download the WKYT weather app for your iPhone or Android device.
In a unanimous vote, the Berea Chamber of Commerce decided to cancel this year's Spoonbread Festival.
This move comes as city leaders wanted to add conditions to their contract with the chamber, including requiring business licenses for dealers and banning the sale of items displaying the Confederate flag. And it's that issue that brought protesters to gather today in Berea. Our Hillary Thornton has more in our top story at 5:30.
With the future of the festival up in the air, Thursday morning, nearly 24 protesters marched outside of the Chamber of Commerce building asking that organizers accept new conditions from the city that would ban the sale or display of the Confederate flag.
Represents for me, slavery and the injustices that continue today. And it belongs, in my view, in a museum.
As they voiced their support for the ban, the festival's organizers meeting inside about those conditions causing great concern for the board, but not all about the flag.
That was not our concern from the very beginning. Our concerns were with the demands that local government was placing on private businesses, especially with things like the business licenses and the taxes and limiting the festival size.
Conditions that chamber leaders say, if not followed, could kick the event out of the city that last year brought more than 60,000 people to Berea.
If we did not sign that contract the way he had that worded, we would not even be allowed to use city property.
With all of those issues on top of strong attention placed on the decision regarding the Confederate flag, organizers deciding inside Thursday's meeting out of safety concerns, there will not be a 20th annual Spoonbread Festival.
Kind of blindsided us, and so we did not agree with the way that local government was trying to overstep their bounds onto private business. But because of it going to Facebook and social media and that particular incident in there with the banning of the Confederate flag, it took a life of its own.
In Berea, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Chamber members acknowledge the economic impact of losing the Spoonbread Festival and say going forward they will put their energy into other activities that will help promote and grow businesses and the local economy. A Southern Kentucky school system is facing a wrongful death lawsuit over a deadly school bus incident from last year.
10-year-old Jonathan Chatham was killed when a Whitley County school bus ran over him after he got off the bus near his home. WKYT's Phil Pendleton looked into that lawsuit, and he has more from Williamsburg in a story that's new at 5:30.
The lawsuit that is more than 20 pages long and names more than a dozen defendants was filed here in Whitley Circuit Court. It alleges that the superintendent, the school board, the bus driver, and others in their official and individual capacities were responsible for this school bus being operated in a reckless and negligent manner that caused the death of 10-year-old Jonathan Chatham. Relatives say the lawsuit should put to rest the rumor floating around originally that Jonathan somehow crossed the road and came back into the path of the bus. The state police report states that the 10-year-old had exited the bus but not cleared the bus when it began to pull out.
It should not have happened.
We spoke to Jonathan's grandmother last June, and she said her son saw everything as children were getting off the bus on the afternoon of March 23rd.
And the horror of watching it happen, being unable to get across that road and stop it. That had to be a total nightmare for my son.
The lawsuit states that the driver, Amanda Walliver, failed to keep the vehicle under reasonable, safe, and proper control and disregarded the rights, safety, and position of others. It states that others in the school system were negligent and careless in their duties in maintaining the 1999 International School Bus. The lawsuit does not seek a specific monetary amount, but it lists and asks for various damages in the form of loss of potential income, medical expenses, and a trial by jury, in addition to various other fees and interests. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
We talked with the attorney that represents the Whitley County school system. He says they forwarded the complaint to their insurance company and are reviewing it and considering how to proceed.
A fire that started at a Southern Kentucky home quickly spread into a brush fire before firefighters were able to put it out. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Bell County. The fire was reported about 7 this morning at a home in Pineville. Crews were on scene for about 3 hours before they could even go inside the house because it was so hot. The brush on the hill alongside the house was also burning, but luckily the fire did not quite reach any other nearby homes.
They're just kind of mopping up right now. As you can see, they're just getting the hot spots out, getting it finished up where we can get in there and do our investigation.
3 people lived in the home, but they say the heat went out months ago and they'd been actually staying with family members, so no one was in the house at the time of the fire. In Jessamine County, a man is recovering after being stabbed many times. Police got a call about 7 this morning from a home on Bethany Road in Nicholasville. The victim is 29-year-old Oleg Nesenchuk. He reportedly told officers that he was at a neighbor's house when he was assaulted. Police are still investigating what happened.
Today, hundreds of pinwheels were placed on the Capitol lawn in Frankfort. The event was hosted by Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky along with First Lady Glenna Bevan. The pinwheels will be on display through all of April in honor of National Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Word late this afternoon that a special announcement will be made tomorrow at a news conference for UK men's basketball, and it prompted our good question. I hear the entire team declared for the NBA draft. Can they still come back to play for UK if the NBA isn't going to work out? Yes, a new rule this year allows players until April 24th to declare for the draft, find out where they stand in the pros, and still come back to play in college if they want without losing any eligibility. Players can do that if they do not hire an agent. Now, as of now, 12 UK players, basically the entire team, declared for the draft. Basically, every player who is eligible declared, including some who barely played this season. Players have until May 25th to decide whether they are returning back to college. The news release we got today from UK does not say what the special announcement is about. It may have nothing to do with the NBA draft, so stay tuned. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Many therapists often use animals for treating certain patients. Still ahead on WKYT, what one group hopes to prove about horse therapy.
I'm Bill Bryant. Budget talks collapse in Frankfort, and nobody can predict where it's headed from here. And Kentucky's new education commissioner has a goal for schools. The bottom line is ahead.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
At Hair Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
It's ancient Greece. You're a shepherd tending your flock and you're hungry. You reach into your loincloth and remove 2 euros you bought for 6 iron coins. As you take your first bite, you notice a disturbance in the flock. A lion has taken sweet Euclides. You continue to eat, a lion in your own right. Man, sheep are hard to keep alive. Arby's, we have the meats.
At Window World, you get the best price right up front.
Our windows feature the Good Housekeeping seal
and come with a lifetime limited warranty.
Act now and get a house full of windows for as low as $79 a month installed.
Window World, simply the best for less.
The all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is changing the automotive industry in Central Kentucky forever. Introducing lifetime warranty. It doesn't end after 10 years. It doesn't end after 100,000 miles. And is available at no extra cost. 100% parts, 100% labor, zero deductible forever. Visit BigMSuperstore.com. Shop the area's largest selection of quality vehicles, all with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Only at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
We had people make their own pizzas. They were very clear about what they didn't want.
When I see fillers, I run for the hills.
What is BHA? That doesn't sound fun.
I've never heard of those things. I don't want that.
So why in the world would you pay for those ingredients in the pizza you buy?
Get to know better. Papa John's pizzas don't have ingredients like BHA, BHT, or meat with fillers. Get one of our best deals ever. For just $9.99, get any large pizza with up to 5 toppings. That's 5 toppings for just $9.99, all with our quality guarantee.
At papajohns.com.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like 5-card cash, college students all over Kentucky are dealt a winning hand.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident and have legal questions, visit forthepeople.com to get answers to your questions. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, tracking a couple of rounds of strong and severe thunderstorms across the Bluegrass State as of now. A little good news, that line of thunderstorms into the Bluegrass region beginning to weaken just a little bit, leaving behind a little wind damage across the Frankfort area and especially Louisville down toward E-Town. Florence with rain, Lexington with a thunderstorm that is in progress. Notice those eastern Kentucky cams, though, are dry. We'll try to change that up a little later this evening. Thunderstorm complex number 1 is across the Lexington metro and points to the north into the Covington, Cincinnati area. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. This one just expiring now. Franklin, Harrison, Scott. That was extended a little farther to the east. Bourbon, Harrison, Nicholas, and Scott counties until 6:15. But looking at this line now, I would be surprised if it has winds greater than 50 miles an hour. You could still get some wind damage at 50 miles per hour, but overall, this line of thunderstorms is weakening as it makes its way out of northern Scott County, southern parts of Grant County, over toward the Cynthiana and Berry areas of Harrison County. A lot of lightning, a lot of gusty winds, but nowhere near as strong as what we were seeing across the Louisville area and west when it had winds in some cases likely greater than 70 miles an hour. Thunder and lightning on the east side of Lexington into parts of Bourbon County. This is not a severe thunderstorm, though we'll keep a close eye on it. West side of Lexington, sun is beginning to come back out. Here at the station on Winchester Road, we're getting in on some heavy rain. Now all of a sudden the skies are brightening just a little bit. Kind of looks like spring, doesn't it? Yep, very typical of this time of year. Showers to the south of us across parts of the Richmond and Berea areas beginning to wind down. Severe thunderstorm complex around Bowling Green over toward Glasgow, right on top of Interstate 65. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Columbia up into Campbellsville, the Liberty area of Casey County as well. That's a line that extends back to the southwest toward Nashville, where severe thunderstorm warnings are currently out. One more line to go through later this evening. That is still out across parts of Indiana and Illinois with the cold front. Now, the big wind maker that made its way out of western Kentucky into the bluegrass region, the one that's dying out now, never had a severe thunderstorm watch with that. Amazing. Severe thunderstorm watch, though, is out for that complex of thunderstorms around Bowling Green. It includes a few counties into our coverage area. We're talking about Adair County, Russell County, up into Casey and Taylor County included in that severe thunderstorm watch until 11. Hour by hour future radar. Notice how the showers and thunderstorms will increase from southwest to northeast. Here comes by midnight that line of thunderstorms that is currently out across Indiana and Illinois, right on top of central Kentucky. Winds this evening are going to be a big player with or without thunderstorms. At one point today, we had winds gusting greater than 50 miles per hour into parts of central and northeastern Kentucky, putting down a lot of wind damage. Later tonight, winds are still going to be gusting close to 40 miles an hour. You can see where the front is. Makes its way through, winds calm down a little bit. Now we get ready for another super windy day coming up Saturday afternoon and evening. Early in the day, not so much. Look at 5 o'clock Saturday with another front approaching from the northwest. Those winds may be gusting greater than 40 miles per hour. And that's a colder wind that blows as we go into Saturday evening. That'll set the stage for the possibility of a hard freeze on Sunday morning. So we got one front right now, another front Saturday. Here comes another cold front on Monday and another cold front on Wednesday. Look at that temperature pattern. 60s, 40s, 60s, 40s. Lows in the 20s on more than one occasion, a good possibility, guys. That's a crazy look to the first week of April.
Sort of like a ping pong over there on your 7-day
really
forecast.
Is. The downs, though, are much more impressive than the ups. We could be into the low and mid-20s at some point next week. That's a bad thing.
That is bad.
And we're going to watch those thunderstorms around Bowling Green now. The line that's on top of central Kentucky now is weakening. That's good news there.
Good news. Chris, thank you.
Budget talks in Frankfort grinding to a halt.
And the new education commissioner talking about his plans for Kentucky schools. Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. There is uncertainty and drama over a state budget in Kentucky after leaders of the Democratic-led House and the Republican-led Senate announced a stalemate and that their talks had collapsed. Top lawmakers from the House and Senate met for hours this week, often behind closed doors, off limits to the public and reporters. This morning, House Speaker Greg Stumbo and Senate President Robert Stivers emerged and said they could not resolve their differences. Republicans want to cut public universities and put that money toward the state's huge pension shortfall, and Democrats stood their ground on any additional cuts to higher education. There are 2 legislative days left before the state constitution requires the 60-day session to adjourn. The calendar has now been amended to give lawmakers a little more time to try to reach an agreement. Stivers said today there is a 50-50 chance of reaching a deal. Kentucky's new education commissioner is learning the ropes in Frankfort, also laying out his agenda for schools. Dr. Stephen Pruitt says he will measure success in several ways, but he says the key goal is to have graduates ready to take the next step when they get their high school diploma.
How do we work with our schools and our districts to ensure that every student has every opportunity that they could ever want? When they cross the stage at graduation, they can go directly into a career, they can go to a 2-year community or technical college, or they can go to a 4-year university. But we've given them the opportunity for them to make that decision about their life.
The full interview with Commissioner Pruitt runs on Kentucky Newsmakers this weekend on WKYT. We'll also be talking with WKYT's Miranda Combs as she is just back from covering a major national summit on heroin and other drugs that are literally killing part of a generation. Look for Kentucky Newsmakers Sunday morning. And we'll have more on this budget impasse coming up shortly. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Horse therapy comes to Lexington, but it doesn't involve riding. An organization called EGALA came to the horse park this afternoon to demonstrate how horses can help people with behavioral issues like PTSD. Instead of riding, participants have to push, pull, and talk to the horse through obstacles. Instructors say this method helps behavior issues because it forces people to talk out their problems through the horse.
We have a team approach. The horse, the mental health provider, and the equine specialist all working to help this person work through whatever issues that they bring to us.
EGALA is not just in the U.S. The organization has 4,500 members in 50 countries. You usually see people on horses riding for therapy. An interesting twist there.
Yeah, very productive way to use them. Very exciting last night, Rob. We'll look back at last night's McDonald's All-American game.
The thoughts of De'Aaron Fox as Sasha Kalia-Jones, two future Wildcats in action last night in Chicago, and Kentucky's Eddie Grant. Not happy with the way his offensive unit practiced this morning. Stay with us. That's next in sports.
Coal in Kentucky has been hit hard.
We've exported coal for forever, so now what we want to do is export coke.
See how one Kentucky company is switching from coal to coating. Tonight at 6 on WKYT.
Jeopardy has challengers who can do this.
You do a great impression of Donald Duck sneezing.
Stand by. Don't miss it.
Jeopardy! Tonight at 7:30 on WKYT.
This time of year, everyone in the Lexington area is excited because they know it's time for the Burke Furniture March Markdown Madness Sale. Slam dunk huge savings up to 60% off in every department.
A beautiful home begins at Burke's.
Want to fill your garage with the best value brand in America that costs less than the competition? Honda's got it. During Honda's Dream Garage Sales Event, redesign 2016 Civics, the #1 selling compact car, just $179 a month. Or drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0 first month's payment. Civics with available Honda Lane Watch, Brake Assist, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and more. Just $179 a month or 0 due at signing. Honda's got it at your Central Kentucky Honda dealers.
Good morning, Jennifer. Hi, Ashley. It's great to see you. We love Ashley. She's one of our regulars.
Fresh from the oven.
At Kroger, we're family, and so are our customers. My mom always said, to have a friend, be a friend. Come back soon, Ashley. You know we will.
Red, white, or black seedless grapes are on sale for just $1.68 a pound. And red tomatoes on the vine or broccoli crowns are only 99 cents a pound at Kroger.
So, you've got these projects on your list. You've been wanting to update your kitchen, organize your closets, and build the backyard oasis of your dreams. But where do you start? Well, projects solved. The Central Kentucky Home and Garden Show is here. Need a reliable contractor? You'll find them at the show. Need a landscaping pro? They're here too. Bring photos of your projects and meet with the experts. Then compare and save with exclusive show-only deals. There's only one place to find it all this weekend at the Lexington Center.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
Chevy.
I'm going with Ram.
Definitely Ford.
The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing.
They're all Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Get a total value of $7,500 on this Silverado All-Star with a 5.3-liter V8. Plus, find your tag and get $1,000 cash allowance on select Silverado models in stock. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
When newsmakers want to make more news, they come to Colbert.
I want to thank you for running for president.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
What's happening?
Weeknights.
This time of year, everyone in the Lexington area is excited because they know it's time for the Burke Furniture March Markdown Madness Sale. Slam dunk huge savings up to 60% off in every department.
A beautiful home begins at Burke's.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on News Radio 630 WLAP.
Last night in Chicago, McDonald's All-American game, first major All-Star game of the spring, and we saw 4 future Wildcats in action. 2 of them, Sasha Kalia-Jones and De'Aaron Fox, combined for only 8 points. Kalia-Jones grabbed a couple of rebounds, had 2 steals. The lightning-fast Fox led the East team with 7 assists. Both players say they enjoyed the experience.
It was just a fun experience. You know, I played pretty well in the first half. I think a couple easy buckets and everything, a couple of dunks. It was just go out there, have fun, compete a lot, try to dive on the floor. You know, get a little, just try to play hard and everything. But it was a really fun experience.
I was frustrated. I couldn't make any shots. I think I was about 1 for 9. The ball just didn't go in. I assisted well, played better as a team, defended pretty well. It wasn't my best game. It wasn't my worst though.
Mark Stoops had his Wildcats back on the practice field this morning, and afterwards, Eddie Grand, the assistant head coach of the offense, was not happy with his offense. Grand said his unit was inconsistent, not as good as it needs to be, and there's no excuse for it. He said the offense needs to be better on first down efficiency, and he said his guys were not as good on third down as they were in last weekend's scrimmage. Now, he is happy with the players' effort.
They're giving great effort. They're competing. They're having fun. But now it becomes just the mental part of it. It's all in now. You know, we didn't install anything today, so there's no more excuses. You know, game's over. It's time for you to learn it, and it's time for you now this is where your technique takes place. And if you want to win outside as a receiver up front, now it's all about technique. Perfect steps, know where to go, and do it fast.
And the 12th ranked UK baseball team leaving for Knoxville today as Kentucky takes on the Vols this weekend. The Cats have shown this season they can rally to win. During the first 2 SEC series against Georgia and Florida, Kentucky has dropped the Friday game only to win Saturday and Sunday. That was not the case for the Cats last season.
You know, last year, if we got behind, we were shutting down. But this year, the culture is just completely different. And once we fall behind, we're playing like it's a tight game. And, we're coming back. And, it doesn't faze us anymore.
We never give up. We always feel like we're in a position to win. We always feel like we're supposed to win. So Saturday and Sunday are not affected negatively by what happens on Friday.
UK basketball with a special announcement coming up tomorrow. At least that's the way it's been described. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up at 6. Stay with us. We'll continue after the break.